Assalamu alaikum, hello everyone, and welcome to the Scout Pioneer. I'm Rajab Ali Virani. And this is the show where we celebrate those Scout leaders who have given so much, not through the duties, but through the heartfelt services. There are living legends among us whose actions reflect Scout and Promise law everywhere. Living example to guide new generation. On today's episode, we will meet and welcome our Scout pioneer, Mr. Abdul Jesani. From Kenya to a leading multinational businesses across Africa, Middle East and beyond. Mr. Abdul Jesani has a truly inspiring journey. He is also someone who values education, charity and scouting, which we will know more about him today. And we are honored to have him here. Welcome, Mr. Abdul Jesani.
Thank you, Mark.
So, before we start question answer, as a practice, whenever we meet the scouts and gatherings and we read out a promise. So, as practice of scouts, and then we start our question answer session.
Okay.
Thank you.
On my
honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and obey the scout law.
To help others
at all times,
be physically fit, mentally awake, and morally strong.
Could you tell us a bit your early life and how you first become involved in scouting?
I was born in Nairobi, Kenya. I spent my early childhood, very early childhood, in Naivasha, a picturesque town, a lake town with flamingos and lots of birds. So it was a very beautiful place. But then, to cut short my beauty there, my parents decided I had to go to school in Nairobi. So I was then taken to stay with my grandparents in Nairobi. So at school, I met a lot of people, kids, who were Cubs and Scouts, or Cubs. So I decided that's a good thing. So I joined Cubs. That's the beginning of my journey into the scouting world.
Thank you to know. What lesson did scouting teach you that stay with you throughout your career?
That is an important question because it meant I learned a wide spectrum of attitudes, attributes that have helped me in my future life. I'm talking about courage, I'll give you examples of that. I'm talking about transparency, integrity, and generosity. Those were the key elements. There are others too that follow this, but those were the key ones. Let me first of all show you this booklet. Can you see it?
Yeah.
You know what it says?
It's a logbook.
This is my logbook for first class journey, and this was written in 1961.
Wow.
That is how many years ago?
1961. We're talking about more than 40, 60, 66 years. Almost
64 years.
64 years.
Yeah, so everything in that is still relevant today, or was relevant to me in my journey, in my business. Now, what does it say? It goes on.
Can you show to our...
It goes on to show the word, be prepared.
Yes.
All right, that's the motto.
Be prepared.
And then you go through the journey and you write up the journey, but the most important thing was appreciation of what God has given in terms of the earth and planet. And in that respect, I will show you some which are still there, cuttings from the trees, branches of all the different plants, and the plants are named up here. All right? So you go through this journey. It's a tough journey. You don't have a compass. You just have a route map, and you're not sure about it. And there could be some animals there. You need to light your fire and do that. And the other thing was, this was one part of it. We also had one of the key elements, on scouting was what is called the outward bound, which meant going to the highest mountain in Africa, which is Mount Kilimanjaro. And there, what happens, and this is where they test your courage and your physical endurance and all that. So when you go up the mountain, when you're climbing up, you're rope climbing. And then there's your partner up there who's already climbed, he's holding the rope. So you go up, and then the instructor says, jump. So you have to jump back. Now, this requires a lot of courage, mental alertness to make sure you do it the right way. And then you get back. So what was it? There was trust, there was alertness, and there was courage. Courage, as I said to you, is a mental thing, not a physical one. So that's the one thing. The second thing that happened on that mountain is a physical endurance. At 14,000 feet up, where the air is rare, you have to run the marathon. And boy, we did run, but were we tired? And the second thing they did, at 6 o'clock in the morning, you have to jump in the swimming pool. It's very cold at 14,000 feet up. But that's what you got to do. So all these things prepares you mentally and physically for your future life. And that's what I would say scouting helps you to do. I know a lot of people will not be going up to the mountain, but at least the first class journey, there are some other courageous things they can do. And as I said, it's not physical courage only.
Great to know that. Do you think scouting shaped your leadership style in your business?
It supplemented the values that were taught by my parents. Yes, answer to your question, this is yes.
So, Mr. Jesani, you have worked in so many countries, Kenya, Ghana, Levant, UAE, and many more. How did working across a diverse region influence your outlook?
I think we go back to the question about globally, all the humans basically are same. They have different traditions, different religions, but basically human beings are the same. So you have to understand their key attributes, and then when you look at that, you find whether you're in Kenya or England, where I used to work also, they're not very different. Of course, traditions are different, the cuisine is different, but basically the aspirations, the traits are the same.
Great to know that. In your career, you often had to restructure the organizations. What were some of the thought challenges and how did you overcome them?
The first question is, why do you reorganize?
No.
There is the change in the market structure. There is competition coming in. There is change of consumer habits. All these, then you look at and say, I need to restructure. How do I do that? Restructure can also be painful for certain people. It will improve the condition of the company, but there may be some layoffs, and you need to be very polite and very good to them when you lay them off. These are your family. What are you going to do now? So you say the first thing we should try and do is to see if you can retrain them into different areas. And many people are quite smart. So you are able and say, right, we'll do retraining, which will fit into the new products or new things that we want to go with. However, there will be some, unfortunately, who may not be able to retrain. And those people, you have to look after them, give them a financial payoff, or look at this, pensions or service benefits and see how can I enhance that so his family does not suffer. But we are also supporting the education, which we will continue, education for the kids. So that do not leave, because the future of the nation or the family lies in the future education of the kids that we support. That's how you restructure. Okay? So when you restructure, you are restructuring for the future. Having looked at the future trends and what is likely to be, that's why you restructure.
So what were some of the thought challenges and how did you overcome them?
The challenges were that how do you ensure that you are looking at the future with the right lens. Because this is something that you're looking at and saying, I'm restructuring for sustainability for the future. And therefore, some of the skills may not be relevant there that we already have. Those are the main things.
So did you face challenges during this?
Of course, the challenges would be there. There would be some people who would say, would be very worried, concerned about their livelihood, and you got to look after them. The second challenge would be asking yourself, am I going the right way? And the future is always uncertain. But you have a lot of research that's being done. You look at it, you look at the possible trends that are coming up and say, I will restructure. And I'll give you an example. I was doing restructuring for a third party who came to me. And I said, I looked at their several businesses, like many companies have several businesses. I looked at it and I said to them, there's this business you have no business to be in. Why are you there? Oh, my grandfather started it. I said, yes, but it's eating away your money. You can't have your grandfather's name there, but ensure that you go and look at the changing environment, which really where your future is. So that's how we do it.